Thank you, Frank. It's an honor to have been invited to join such amazing talent today. Thank you all for some wonderful words to listen to. For my part, nightmares, memories, war songs, love songs, longings, and you get to figure out what's what. So I'm not going to say anything else about these. What fear most dangerous? She waits at the edge of the woods, faceless in her hooded cape, masked by its unshaping blackness. The children are drawn and repulsed. She is mystery, adventures they're too young to fully dream, and she is nightmares fully born from fairy tales handed down by parents who have forgotten too much of what they feared. She becomes, in child minds, the witch named Hex, malicious and fierce-tempered, casting spells to make them frogs when they chance to come close. Or Bruja, healing with the same magic used to ensnare them from the first. Perhaps Sahira, come from the desert on some Aladdin's winged giant to captivate and capture with music the ones who dare to watch her sway. Their fathers look the other way, not wanting to be reminded of things that might have been, or might yet, or how chances plucked may be sour. In truth, only their mothers understand why she scans the dark spaces, for only they fear being her. Not caught by some strange woman's strange powers, but captured by those of a good and promised man who never returns from the woods. Old woman with photograph. My husband was fighting in Italy. I have a photograph, him marching, taken on the road from the beach. I hadn't seen him for 6 months and didn't see him for another 7. You were in London on a weekend pass, and I have a photograph, us dancing, taken when my friends and I stepped out for the evening. I'd never seen you before, and I never saw you after that one dance. I know the rest of my husband's story. I have boxes of photographs, us laughing, holidays with the children, their weddings. He passed a week before turning 80, and my love for him is still as strong. But of you, my handsome young pilot, I only have that photograph, us laughing. A corner of my faithful heart is still yours. No danger to my husband or our children. And I think of endings, I'd rather that were all I know about. Music from the Villages of Flanders. The sisters dance flamenco in the evening, knowing God is watching and approving. The brothers from up the highway come to join them, carrying guitars. There is nothing in their collective vows of poverty to contradict this. No unfaithfulness or breach of loyalty in their enjoyment. Seeing them, I smile for the first time after so many years with no reason to. I spent some of that time on the coast, unable to see or hear the ocean in a place whose name attested to its existence. And before that, in a black hole of a cell hidden away in another country for debriefings. I couldn't be sure of my own reality. My rendition was a rendering, and my brain the piece of fat set sizzling in flames whose definition have no words that you could possibly know. This, too, is what we do in holy earshot of our one Creator, in response to vows we've made to far lesser abstractions. And our Creator must have heard my cries. They sounded louder than the breakings. I will not join the brothers on guitar, and I will not dance flamenco with the nuns. There are 29 bones in a hand, and 26 more to break in each foot. And thank you. While seeking something else, the man she carves words on trees for cares nothing of old suitors, their faces and desires darkly masked as swans. All too well aware that some sad day he might join these eternally haunted, each moment is a day, and each day now. She calls to him in waking dreams, translates the tongue of his reply into the curve of passion's spine as she rises from her bed. And he, not knowing this, tries her in his way and marvels at her excellent tastes. Even fully clothed, she bears herself for him and never thinks for another. The dimples in her soul are laid out against the promise of her heart, her mind, and the treasure map of flesh inscribed, "Search gently, sir, at this spot." And finally, Lilith. There is lightning in the high clouds to the north, but distance cancels the thunder. The flashes reach me, but the cycle is incomplete. The sky turns darker, eclipses the healing moon and stars. I am the first emigre woman, the first immigrant woman. I leave as a stranger, I arrive the same. With no husband, no sons, the cycle is incomplete. The clouds roll closer, the air cools and turns electric. My daughters and I speak only our language and are damned for it. We eat the only food we've ever known, and we are cursed for it. We would belong, but the cycle is incomplete. The distance closes. Thunder makes the children turn in their sleep. My labor is required but undervalued. My wisdom is needed but never sought. Our bodies are desired, then discarded. The cycle is incomplete. Silence drops, is suddenly carried away by 1,000 fingers drumming. The rain falls warm and soft, carrying hope and salvation, but the ground is hard. The promise is rejected, flows in gutters, and the cycle remains incomplete. Thank you all.